This is Pranav Guha Thakurta from Edu TV. Today, we are in our favorite program of education leaders in my educational voyage. Today, we have two young ladies. They will be taking this conversation further. We have Miss Omera Yusuf. She's a class 11th student of Delhi Public School East, Bangalore. And with us is Miss Madam, the famous Madam Priyanka Bhatkoti, principal of Maxford School, Dwarka, New Delhi. Probably she's one of the youngest principal in the country.
Hello everyone, my name is Omera Yusuf and I am a student of class 11 in Delhi Public School, Bangalore East. Today, I on behalf of EduTV will be conducting the guest interview with Ms. Priyanka Bhatkoti, Principal, Maxford School, Dwarka, New Delhi, in viewers' favorite program, My Educational Voyage. Before we begin, I'd like to express my sincere thanks to EduTV, Pranav sir and Tanya ma'am for this wonderful opportunity. I shall begin by introducing our guest for today. Ms. Priyanka Bhatkoti is a versatile educationist and is one of the youngest in the country, who is actively involved in the development of the best educational practices in the country. An alumnus of the prestigious Convent of Jesus and Mary, Dehradun, she is a postgraduate in English with a degree in education. She is also a University of Cambridge CELTA qualified professional and works with the belief that quality education can be easily accessible and affordable for all individuals. She is an acclaimed resource person for training teachers. Furthermore, she is also keenly involved with the development of curriculum and assessments at CBSE and other premier developmental agencies. She is a recipient of many awards by leading educational organizations, her latest accomplishment being her contribution and leadership role in the field of content development for teaching and especially with relation to the National Education Policy 2020. So hello, ma'am, how are you doing today?
I am very fine here. And Omera, thank you for that elaborate introduction. My heartfelt gratitude to Pranav for his kind words there. And you've brought a smile to my afternoon. If students are as accomplished as you are, the country's future is very bright.
Ma'am, that is great to hear. I think we can now move towards our questions and we can commence with the session. So, ma'am, my first question is about your journey in this profession. How has your experience been throughout and what challenges did you face on the way?
Okay, I think the first challenge was myself making the choice of becoming a teacher by enrolling in the B.Ed program. It happened by chance. It was not by choice because yes, I studied in a wonderful school by the name of Convent of Jesus and Mary, Dehradun. And over there at that point of time, our mindsets were more to be homemakers. Or if it was not homemakers, there was something called IIT JEE. Or at that point of time, a CPMT, what you have now as a NEET. Or the third option was become a UPSC qualified officer. So these were the only three avenues which were available for us. And yes, the world in that lovely hilly town of Dehradun was very, very tranquil. It was very, very refined because a lot of educational institutes are there. And they do very well. So we had a very, very encouraging setup of peers who taught us tremendously. So when we competed in inter-school competitions, there would be the Doon School boys, there would be the Vellum boys, the Vellum girls, CJMites from my school and Josephite. And yes, the Masuri schools were also there. We belonged to the council schools. It was ICSC. But the kind of training that we had from teachers, I think fantastic teachers. We had great buildings, colonial buildings, lovely setups there. You have hills in the background, like in Bangalore, you have trees in the background and gardens in the background. When you're not in Bangalore, I think you value Bangalore even more. It is one of my favorite cities. Then you realize what you have in that city. So that whole city was steeped in education, and that has helped me tremendously. The only challenge that I have faced at times are sometimes not having sufficient faith in certain things. And I have sought to build that up because I have realized whenever I have taught that our students make us successful. Students never fail a system. When you are a student, you have so much of enthusiasm. You have only one thing to do, that is take care of your studies. And you have the whole world to tell that we have so much to do. Even when the parents are providing for the fees, they're providing for the food and the clothes there. Yet as students, we feel we are doing so much. And suddenly when you're in the role of a teacher, you realize a teacher does so much more because she has to live the life of a student and she has to be a teacher. So you're not walking a single tightrope, you're walking two tightropes. Yes. And when you become a principal, you are walking many more tightropes because every decision that comes to our table is what affects a life. Yes. So the magnitude of the decisions taken and the magnitude of the work done by a principal is something which is not visible to the world, but now educational organization and research organizations have looked into that. Wherever you have strong leaders, you have fantastic schools, and you have wonderful students. Yes. The reflection of a principal is felt in all the students and the whole community there. So you have a multiplier effect with a principal. With a teacher, she will affect her sections, but the principal will be affecting exponentially. So now when I have that realization, so it is with extreme humility that I accept the role. And then I look forward to making education meaningful and engaging, because we must connect with real world. I was very fond of reading books. So my librarian was very fond of me. Some books that I read in my library were ones where the pages were also joined. I was the one opening them, and they had been in the library for a good 10 years. Yes. Omera, I think you are a reader there because
yes, ma'am.
Have you seen those books in the library which have not been read by anybody?
And, I know, ma'am.
They have that lovely fragrance to them, and the age is there, and they're waiting for somebody to read them, to value them. And I discovered a treasure trove there, and I realized that I could do time travel. I could do distance travel without even the benefit of internet. So I could be in Finland by reading a story about Finland, or experience the fortitude of World War II. Those were some of my couple of favorite stories from World War II, or the Nancy Drew, or the Hardy Boys, or the Enid Blyton with the boarding school experiences coming across, or the elves and the fairies to paint a wonderful world, or then to go to Tolstoy and O. Henry, or Shakespeare and drama out there. So the world came to my fingertips, and suddenly I realized there is so much available for us. We are not bound by money or time or constraints. We are only bound by the boundaries created by our mind here. So there is the potential is limitless, infinite. And there was one very nice quote that by Galileo, where he said that give me, the whole world is written in the universe of in the language of mathematics. You can interpret and you can see patterns there. Or give me a rod strong enough, or a stick strong enough, and I can move the world, because it's about momentum. Yes. I hope I'm quoting it right, but these are things that really reflected. So a math book with a quotation about a mathematician. So how do you link with mathematics equations with real life world? And that's what I try to do in the lovely ecosystem. That's my school, Maxwell School, Dwarka, New Delhi. I have fantastic students. I'm very fortunate. We have a great management, amazing set of parents who come and quietly support us, and a fantastic team which is ready to do anything for students.
That is great, ma'am. I think, again, you brought in the whole important perspective of books and, the relevance they hold in our lives. The way, you can be in one place, but you can experience so many different things just through that one book. It was lovely talking to you today, and this has been a great session. Thank you very much for taking our time for us. It is an absolute pleasure. So yes, ma'am, I think today's session was very fruitful. We did discuss a lot of things. We saw how education has been playing a role, what inspired you to join this field, and how the profession almost found you, and all of this, and how teaching has to become more involving, more elaborate, in the sense to basically instill a certain level of independence in the child, a certain level of individuality in the student, so that everything can be self-sustained. So yes, ma'am, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Umaira, again, thank you for reiterating my belief in the students here. It was a pleasure. So Pranav, you have given me a beautiful present in my connection with Umaira today. Please continue to be your smiling self, because here, be happy, spread that happiness all around you, and be as thoughtful in your expression and communication as you have been with me. It was a pleasure connecting with you. Thank you so much, Umaira.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.